Hello, beautiful people. My name is Dim Collins from the Housing Professors Empire, here again to be able to take you on the history slash formation of Abuja, or rather FCT, as the case may be. So the question will be, why do we have to go down to the history and formation of Abuja? Because this will help us, investors out there and potential investors who want to be able to make huge returns on investments in Abuja, to understand the history, which is our past Abuja, what Abuja is right now, and then what the proposed Abuja will look like tomorrow. So let's take this part and be able to, let's listen carefully, that because it's going to help us to. Now, the movement of Abuja from Lagos down to the FCT, or Abuja as the case may be, was not a coincidence. It was not accidental. It was well planned. It is a strategic movement, and it was for a purpose, right? Right from 1914, during the colonial era, Lagos has been the federal territory, or rather the capital city of Nigeria. Everything was happening in Lagos. Because of it, Lagos got oversaturated, Lagos was congested, and then because of because of this reason, they have to move the capital city to where it is now. There are basic reasons why this was done, right? First is to be able to decentralize Nigerian administrative activity, and secondly, to foster national unity. One, to decentralize Nigerian administrative activity. Then secondly is to foster national unity. So it was then the President General, that was in the person of Yakubu Gowon, as of 1970, that the government realized that Lagos was overpopulated, and not just only that Lagos was on a coastal area, which make it more plausible for external attacks. So Lagos, as it was occupied by water as of then. So because of this, there could be external attacks, and this will really harm our country. So now a committee was set up to be able to survey Nigeria as a whole, and then notice where seems to be the center of Nigeria, to be able to establish national unity, and also for accessibility of other states into the federal capital territory. Then again, in the year 1975, under the regime of Murtala Muhammad, the year 1975, that was done. The movement from Lagos to the FCT, which then they have to move down to Niger State. Abuja is formally created through three major states: Niger State, Kwara State as of then, which is the present Kogi State, then Nasarawa State, which was also under Plateau State as of then. So these three states, right? These three states, the Kwara State as of then, Plateau State as of then, and then Niger State became were the states that formed the FCT, right? It will also interest you to know that 80% of Abuja came from Niger State. Plateau State, which is the present Nasarawa State, just have 4%. While Kwara State, which is now the present Kogi State, is just 16% that came out from it to be able to form what we know today as the FCT. So now, in the year 1976, under the regime of Murtala Muhammad, the government passed an act that now created officially FCT from the three major states that we have earlier mentioned: the Niger State, the Nasarawa State, and now the Kogi State. So it was on 1976 that this was done. It will also interest you to know that as bad as it was, after the promulgation of this act, Murtala Muhammad, after 7 days, he was assassinated just because of this act. That is to tell you that people had shed their blood in order to have what we called and what we are all enjoying as the Federal Capital Territory today. So now, there is also one important thing to also know, that this was not done automatically. As of 1976 down to the year 1991, Abuja have not started functioning, or the FCT Abuja have not started functioning very, very well as the Federal Capital Territory. Operations were still going on in Lagos, while they have already created Abuja as the Federal Capital Territory. It was 1991, on 12th of December, that all the administrative processes moved from Lagos down to Abuja, and the governmental works and every other thing started happening as of 1991, December 12th, under the regime of Ibrahim Babangida. So as I earlier mentioned, that I want to talk about the formation, or what I call land acquisition, of what we have today as the FCT. So Abuja land acquisition, right? So Abuja land acquisition. So the question will be, was Abuja null and void? Was it an open vacuum that was not occupied by people or any states? That is what we have earlier mentioned, that Abuja was actually occupied more percentage by the Niger State, the Niger State of today, which I want to tell us a little history of how the name Abuja came to be, the history of how the name Abuja came to be, the little history of how Abuja came to be, the name, where did the name come from? So we are going to look at the name, and then how they were able to acquire this land. That's roughly, Abuja land is over 2,824 square miles. So that is to tell you that Abuja land is actually big, right? So now, Abuja came from Niger State as we have it, and the name can be traced back to the kingdom of Habe. He was the king as of then, and the man was actually a white man. So the name came from him being white, right? Ja means white, or the fair one. Red, as the case may be, because those times the sun was actually intense, so it can also mean red color, the Ja. That means that's where the name Abuja, to be Abu, which is day, and then Ja, red one or white one. So that's where we have the name Abuja. It was nicknamed after King Hape. It was nicknamed after this man. So we have that particular part of Niger State to bear Abuja. Now, why and how do we come to acquire the name Abuja from this kingdom? As of 1950, they came to meet a king as of then, because this man was ruling on the time of the colonial area. He was not the one that they met for the giving up of the name of what we have today as Abuja, and also for the land that was collected from Niger State to form what we have today as Abuja. His name is whom we know as Suleiman Barua. So Suleiman Barua was, they met him because he was the king, to be able to give out the portion of land that was almost 80% of what we know today as FCT or Abuja. And also on this meeting, he was also obliged to give away his name, the name of Niger State as of then, Abuja. He was also obliged to give it to become the FCT. Then because of that, he had to coin his own name, which is Suleiman, to get what we have today as Suleja in Niger State. So the name Suleja actually came from Suleiman, to have Suleja that we have presently today. That means that the area of Suleja of today was originally Abuja. So it was given out in order to form what we know today as the FCT. So it will also interest you to know that there was a decree that gave the authority to every Nigerian to be able to own land in Abuja by then the General Murtala Mohammed of the 1976 decree. The area is not within the control of any of the major ethnic groups in the country. We believe that the new capital created on such virgin lands will be for all Nigerians a symbol of their oneness and unity, and so the federal territory will belong to all Nigerians. So because of this has given authority and liberty to every Nigerian to be able to own a land in Abuja. And it was on this note, after this decree, that he had to give up his life. He was assassinated after 7 days of this decree.